candidates as winners of the parliamentary elections. These infractions have been recorded during the collations of the parliamentary election results for the following constituencies: 1. Ablekuma North, 2. Okankwe Central, 3. Tema Central, 4. Domi Kwabenya, 5. Ahafuano North, 6. Obuasi East, 7. Ahafuano Southwest, 8. Akwatia, 9. Suhuli, 10. Fantiakwa North, 11. Nsawam Adwaji, and lastly but not the least, Techima South and Aowe. The question many will ask is, why will anybody who claims to have won an election be interested in destroying the most crucial evidence?
Still on the NPP, Peter McManey was, however, quick to accuse the incoming government, the NDC, of perpetrating lawlessness at the coalition center in the constituencies. The NDC feared ceding their seats. Let's take a listen.
Crude strategy of sending their party hoodlums to disrupt ongoing collation of parliamentary election results in constituencies that they know they have lost. The modus operandi of these hoodlums, with the consent of the NDC leadership, is to visit the collation centers and undertake the following lawless acts: destroy all pink sheets they could lay their hands on, destroy ballot boxes and other election materials, beat up electoral officers and party representatives who challenge them, threaten the life of any person who disagrees with them, chase out members of the National Election Security Task Force and take charge of the collation process, ensure the collation is aborted when they realize that their candidate has lost, and compel the returning officers to declare NDC parliamentary candidates as winners of the parliamentary election.
Away from the NPP, let's settle with the NDC, where the National Democratic Congress has filed a lawsuit to block the Electoral Commission from recollating the redeclaring the parliamentary results for the Domi Kwabenya, Okankwe Central, Ablekuma North, Tema Central and Obuasi East constituencies. The NDC argues that the EC no longer has the authority to conduct these processes. This legal action follows ongoing dispute and tensions over the initial collisions of result. The EC had earlier declared the parliamentary results for Domi Kwabenya, Okankwe Central, Ablekuma North and Tema Central as invalid, citing procedural irregularities. During the press briefing on Friday, December 13, Samuel Tete, Deputy EC Chair for Operations, explained that the results could not be upheld because they did not adhere to the procedures outlined in CI 127 despite police presence at the collation centers to ensure the recollation process. The application in the case include Faustina Eliplim, Akrugu, Baba Sadiq, Rabna Orban, Ibi Bright and Samuel Ibrahim. The applicants are seeking an order prohibiting the respondents from recollating and recounting and also redeclaring the already collated and declared parliamentary election results in the Domi Kwabenya, Okankwe Central, Ablekuma North and Tema Central constituencies. But in more news, some supporters of the National Democratic Congress in the Wejagbawe have trooped to Greater Accra Regional Coalition Centre demanding a recollation of parliamentary results for the constituency in what they believe was a rigged declaration of the result in favour of the NPP Jerry Ahmed Shaib as MP-elect. The EC earlier declared Jerry Ahmed Shaib the NPP candidate in the 2024 election, where he assured he secured 32,608 votes, narrowly defeating Felix Odate Lamte of the NDC, who garnered and closely also contested with a 30,460 votes in a closely contested race. However, the EC declaration did not sit well with Felix Odate Lamte supporters, who believed their candidate won the election, but the EC connived with the NPP and manipulated the figures to declare Jerry Ahmed the winner of the election. The aggrieved NDC supporters earlier besieged the constituency EC office to demand redeclaration of the result. This follows the suit today at the Regional Coalition Center, where they blocked the road with stones, light poles and bent car tires to get the attention of the EC. Their vociferousness was, however, met with police who dispersed the crowd and cleared the road for traffic to flow. Meanwhile, two of the supporters spoke with ABC News Ghana and explained their position as the reasons of besieging the office, emphasizing that they will not stop until the EC reverses their declaration.
Okay, no problem. The following day, we caught you people at the municipal trying to change the results, put figures together around 11 something. What are you doing in that chamber? You EC official, what are you doing in that chamber? Around 11 something, trying to put figures together so that you balance what we have. You understand? The evening that they declared Jerry as the winner, I went to CNN. I went to TV3. TV3 posted a different result. CNN posted a different result. The results are not tallying. You understand? So before you post something else, you have to make your ground research about it. You understand? You can't tell me, say, whatever I will say to you, you will post it out. No, you have to make research about it. You understand? Yeah, so you people did your research and posted that thing out.
Returning officer, returning officer, I will wait at home. I can't say, candidate, you do what I say. Open to me, I'm going to professor. So I saw a sign here, either re-election, and I say, to be a bit me up. Recounting any accounting by 5 times. Thinking I call it LED. It's open to me up for re-election, and that's all for and you take over the palace. Because you to the other say, if I tell you, I stop you, baby, and I give you one in the moon to see it. What might be what did they hire person? They also appear over address me. Make a speech level. The way I say, I'm on the sword. So I want a man, so I'm a man, then you don't want to be done because you say you're winning, me jubilate. After the idea, the go away. Say the real man, and as a Friday,
that the Osino District Court has granted 50 National Democratic Congress supporters in the Yenswano bail after being accused of setting the EC's office in Isuboy ablaze. The 15 accused are standing trial before His Lordship Salifu Bugri Ayabiba in connection with an arson attack on the Electoral Commission's office in Yenswano, the Eastern region. There's more in this report.
By night, tension reached a peak when the Yenswano EC office was attacked. The prosecutor, Detective Chief Inspector Kamal Salifu Guma of the Eastern South Regional Police Command in Kibi's Legal and Prosecution Department requested more time to investigate the case. However, the defense counsel for the accused requested bail, which the court granted. After the court's ruling, the defense counsel, Isaac Mintalabi, who is also a lead counsel for the NDC in the Eastern region, spoke to the media and shared his comments.
NDC members police alleged said from out for say easy work is now but in about to say about it me a paper for them. It's in the middle of the Yaba, Assembly said 14 July 2025 in the Assembly.
The accused were, however, granted bail of 20,000 Ghana cedis and a surety each, and to reappear in court on 14 January 2025.
That we're streaming live on YouTube, ABC News G8. Connect with us once again. Let's know what you think about the stories. Let's move on. Member of Parliament for Tamale Central, Murtala Mohammed, has joined calls made by some members of the National Democratic Congress for the resignation of the chairperson of the Electoral Commission of Ghana. Speaking to ABC News Ghana at an emergency reconvening of Parliament on Monday, December 16, 2024, the Tamale Central MP stated that the EC demonstrated gross incompetence in the conduct of the 2025 for elections, especially in the recollation of results for some constituencies. This cause follows a public statement made by the spokesperson of John Mahama campaign, Joyce Bawa Mokhtari, that the elected NDC government will seek the sacking of Jane Mensah as the EC chair. However, Murtala Mohammed believes the EC chair and other members of the commission should resign without even waiting to be pushed out.
So the one who takes the blame is the entirety of the Electoral Commission. I was expecting Jane Mensah to just tender her resignation the very day she declared President Mahama the winner of the elections. She's incompetent. She doesn't have what it takes to manage the electoral processes of this country. And I am surprised that she's still at post. That woman ought to resign, Bosman Asari ought to resign. The entirety of the Electoral Commission needs proper cleansing. So we ought to be cleansed, not to satisfy any political party, but to sanitize the system. Because mind you, the conduct of the Electoral Commissioner or the commissioners in an election is sunk unknown to the stability and peace of this country. And that is why I think that we can't risk the safety of this country in the hands of such people who have demonstrated beyond any doubt the gross.
Away from that, let's move straight to Parliament. And Minority Leader in Parliament, Dr. Kaiser Ato-Forson, has expressed strong reservations about the government's plan to procure ships for the Ghana Navy at projected cost of 140 million euros. Speaking during Parliament's session on December 16, Dr. Ato-Forson criticized the proposal, labeling it as unnecessary and ill-timed given the current state of the country's finances. He argued that such an acquisition would impose an undue financial burden on the incoming government, potentially adding $350 million in debt.
For an outgoing government to commit an incoming government to millions of US dollars, which will be a fiscal strain on the next budget. The Speaker, I said this on the backdrop that before us, they are proposing to buy ships worth 140 million euros at this time. Mr. Speaker, it is very wrong for a government that is leaving office in 3 weeks, to commit 140 million euros. Mr. Speaker, if it is extremely important for the state, allow the new government to commit them. For an outgoing government to commit an incoming government to millions of US dollars, which will be a fiscal strain on the next budget. The Speaker, I said this on the backdrop that before us, they are proposing to buy ships worth 140 million euros at this time. Mr. Speaker, it is very wrong for a government that is leaving office in 3 weeks, to commit 140 million euros.
Meanwhile, the Defense Minister Dominic Nitti will emphasize the importance of the ships for the Ghana Navy, noting that the International Monetary Fund (IMF) has granted approval for the government's request to obtain a loan for their acquisition.
And for Ghana and the IMF to agree only simply means that there must be special reasons why the IMF will agree for Ghana to take a commercial loan. And he knows that it was the IMF itself that had to agree to open up the space for Ghana to be able to take this, because Ghana does not have aircraft and ship. It doesn't have aircraft and ship for our military. I don't have a problem with the next administration dealing with it. But when there is an opportunity to do it and you don't do it, that is up to them to be able to do it. I don't have a problem at all. And I just told him that at all, that we don't have a problem. I am saying that you have opportunity to purchase 2 ships from France for the Ghana Navy. If you think that you cannot do it now, Mr. Speaker, you wait and do it when the government comes. We don't have that problem. The new government comes. Nobody has that problem at all. I don't have a problem at all.
Let's still stay in Parliament, and the outgoing majority leader of Ghana's Parliament, Alexander Afenyo-Markin, has called on the incoming National Democratic Congress government to either retain the current Speaker of the House, Alban Kingsford Sumani Badbany, or choose a new Speaker who already is a member of Parliament. According to him, if the new John Mahama administration intends to change the Speaker, the individual should not be an outsider. He emphasized that Alban Kingsford Badbany has done an excellent job over the past 4 years as a Speaker, and it would not be fair to replace him.
Institutional empowerment you've given to Parliament is equal to none. It's largely because, Mr. Speaker, we had you as a Speaker coming from within. Mr. Speaker, I don't know whether you are being retained or a new person is going to be appointed, but I pray that if they decide, Mr. Speaker, if they sack you, Mr. Speaker, of all that you've done for them, they are going to sack you. Of all that Mr. Speaker has done for you, you are going to sack Mr. Speaker. We will see. Mr. Speaker, if they decide to retain you, I know Parliament is going to benefit. But should they decide to retire you, Mr. Speaker, they can do it. Oh, they can do it. They are unpredictable. They can do it. If they decide to retain you, the happiness of this house.
Away from that, Deputy Ranking Member of Parliament's Committee on Education and MP for Bosa South, Dr. Clement Epak, has intimated that the processed free SHS bill before the House reflects the manifesto promise of the New Patriotic Party and lacks the needed input of the key stakeholders to be passed into law. Speaking to the media following an emergency reconvening of the House on Monday, December 16, 2024, Dr. Epak stated that the NDC minority in the 8th Parliament will oppose the bill and ensure it receives the necessary consultation in the assumption of majority in the 9th Parliament.
Well, I can speak to the proposed free senior school bill. The bill has not been subjected to widespread stakeholder consultation. And you can take it from the Africa Education Watch and, in fact, NAGRAT. And as a member of the NDC and on the Education Committee, we have not had the chance to thoroughly scrutinize the bill and to make comments. And I must tell you, I have looked at the proposed bill. I have also looked at the content of the MPP's manifesto on secondary education. And almost about 40% of the content of the proposed bill is gleaned from the MPP manifesto. This bill is no ordinary bill. It has serious implications for...
Away from that, let's do some more news. Once again, we're streaming live on YouTube. Follow us. Let's know what you think about the stories. Away from that, the Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Council has expressed its unwavering support for President-elect John Dramani Mahama as he prepares for his upcoming tenure. During a visit to the President-elect, the President of the GPCC, Apostle Eric Nyamiche, voiced confidence in Mahama's leadership and expressed capabilities. He also encouraged Mahama to seize the opportunity to serve the nation with integrity and make decisions that would benefit the country as a whole. Apostle Nyamiche emphasized the importance of impactful leadership and expressed hope that Mahama will continue to work for the greater good of the people of Ghana. Quoting, "We are here to assure you that the GPCC will continue to pray for you and will also make ourselves available to support your presidency. At the end of the day, we want Ghana to win, and we know that once he has called selected you for us, he will use you mightily," he said. And on that note, we end the